Good day, guys. God bless you. Unknown prophet Fred Watkins coming on with another word from the Father. And I pray that everyone had a blessed Thanksgiving. In truth, there is so much that we have to be thankful for. I say no more than that. I mean, I can't cover all that we have to be thankful for. Many thankful more than others, true. But all of us have a lot to be thankful for. I'm bringing you a word that was given me on the 19th of this month, November the 19th, and I'm bringing it to you on the 29th, November the 29th, 2025. And I termed it, Different Desert Winds Are Blowing. I was sitting at my computer doing my morning routine when I suddenly began to get a vision. It was of a body of water adjacent to a sandy, barren shore of a desert. As I watched it, there began to be small waterways moving into the desert area as though they were being excavated by the hand of God. As the water moved in these waterways and they extended, green began to appear alongside each of the waterways. The waterways continued to extend and the green continued to spread. It became growth of shrubs and then trees began to appear. It continued to spread out from the waterways until it was covering much of the desert area. However, there was still much that had not been touched by this spread. As I watched, fruit began to form on many of the trees. A lot of different fruit, bananas, papayas, oranges, apples, and on and on. As it appeared and ripened, there came some people who were picking the fruit and beginning to eat it. They may have been children, for they were small and they didn't appear very mature. However, as they ate of the fruit, they began to grow and fill out into mature people. These people began to go out into the areas that had not been watered. And with shovels, they began digging channels and letting the water into the dry areas. They were digging channels in different directions, and as they did, the green tint of growth began to show. It spread among the new waterways much as it had along the original ones, with a growth of trees and producing of fruit, which those who were apparently living in the dry areas were coming to eat. They too began to grow and become strong. The last of the vision was an aerial view, and much of the dry desert was now covered with growth. There were still some areas which had not received water, but they were now less than about a third of the total area. And the vision ended. Father said, "Son, I have shown you my movement over this earth that I created. The desert is the dry land that knows not of me. The water of the word and my spirit was there, but it had not been delivered to the dry areas which needed it. I began to create channels to move my spirit and my word among those who needed it. At first, I created those channels among a people that I chose because of their resiliency and their tenacity. Those channels established the base for all that I have done, am doing, and will do. Growth was produced among those channels that brought forth an area that could produce the fruit trees that are needed by my people. The fruit that I originally started with was scattered, but then I brought my son to begin to bring it together and call attention to it, and to the fact that I wanted my people to have it to strengthen them. Until then, most had assumed it was only for a few. But I love all of my people, and I want all of my people to walk in the power and love that I have for them. Thus I brought forth my church, which is simply a body of those who believe in my Son Jesus and have accepted him into their lives. They are the ones who are eating the fruit produced by the waters I have sent forth through the channels and are growing in size and strength. They also are the ones whom you saw go forth with their shovels and start digging new channels into the land. They have dug many waterways, son, and they continue to dig. There are not many places they have dug that have not produced growth and fruit. The fruit is standing for that which I speak of in my word. The growth that it comes from are those who have watered my word, have been watered with my word, and have allowed it to become a part of them. It is that which comes forth through the Holy Spirit among my people. And those eating it indicate those who are receiving it from those who go forth to spread the waterways. As you saw, there are many different fruit trees, and they bear different fruit. Each bears the fruit that it was derived from, the seed from which it was planted. The trees are a symbol of those who serve me and bear the fruit to feed and nourish those who are weak. However, I have done a new thing among my trees. I have begun to produce more than one fruit in many trees. They are producing several different kinds of fruit from the same tree, and thus are able to meet the needs of different ones of my people in the areas in which they need nourishment. This, my children, is where we are at present. There is much green land, and there is still much desert land, much that is totally dry from the water of my word. The problem that we have now is that a different wind is blowing. And when the winds blow in the desert, the sand begins to move, and they will overcome a green area and turn it into the desert again, with only some dead tree stumps being visible. The winds are blowing and the sand is moving, and it must be stopped. Prayer can change the winds, but many may have to start bringing out their shovels and attempting to dig new channels into the dryness. The desert is relentless, but it can be stopped, and in due time it can be changed as the wind changes. It will take much work and much prayer to change the winds. That is my call to you today. Know that your prayers can change the winds that are moving the desert into your areas, and that you, whenever you get a chance, have the ability to widen the channels or to make new channels into the dry sand. Work with me, my children. Stand with me, and we will accomplish this together. Draw your strength from my love for you. That's the word of the Lord. I think undoubtedly the dry sand, the winds and the dry sand that he's referring to is the Muslim movement. But I suspect there are several other movements shifting along with it that are included in that dryness. And I think they will be exposed before too awfully long. Get your shovels out, guys. Get your shovels out and pray. And God bless each one of you. I pray that you're having a good day, that you'll have a good rest of the weekend. And I will, God willing, speak to you again on Wednesday. And then we will go live on Thursday if it all goes as planned, and we will have communion. Be blessed, guys.